You've decided to change before. You've felt that specific moment when something shifts inside you and you think, this time it's different. This time I actually mean it. You make the promise quietly to yourself. Maybe late at night or early in the morning when everything feels possible, and for a few hours or maybe a few days, you believe it completely. Then you're back where you started, not dramatically, not with some catastrophic failure that you can point to and say, that's what went wrong, just back. Doing the same thing you said you wouldn't do, following the same pattern you said you'd break, and the strangest part is how little resistance there was, how easily you slipped back into it, like your life had a groove worn into it, and you simply found your way back to the center. You've told yourself it's about discipline, that you just didn't want it badly enough, that next time you'll try harder, push more, care more, and then it'll stick. But here's what you haven't said out loud yet. You've already tried harder, multiple times, and the habit is still there, exactly where you left it, waiting for you like it knew you'd come back. This isn't about effort. It never has been. And somewhere, in a part of yourself you don't like to examine too closely, you already know that. Think about how you've explained this to yourself over the years. You've probably used words like lazy, weak, unmotivated. You've compared yourself to people who seem to change effortlessly, who set a goal and simply do it, while you're stuck in this loop of intention and collapse, over and over, until the gap between who you are and who you want to be starts to feel permanent. So you look for more pressure, more structure, more reasons why this time has to be different. You tell yourself that if the consequences were just severe enough, if you were just scared enough or ashamed enough or desperate enough, your behavior would finally align with your intentions. But if fear and shame and desperation were enough, you wouldn't be here, because you've felt all of those things already, haven't you? You've felt them acutely. And still, the next day or the next week, you're doing the thing you said you'd stop doing, or not doing the thing you said you'd start. And the feeling that comes after isn't even surprise anymore. It's just confirmation. What if the problem isn't that you haven't found the right amount of pressure yet? What if the problem is that you've been asking the wrong question entirely? Because here's the uncomfortable part. If motivation and willpower were really what was missing, something would have changed by now. You've had moments of intense motivation. You've had days, even weeks, where you felt completely committed. And none of it lasted, not because you're broken or defective, but because the habit isn't surviving despite your effort. It's surviving because of something else, something that runs deeper than conscious intention. The habit is still here because part of your system needs it to be here. And until you understand why, you're just going to keep having the same argument with yourself, expecting a different result. There's a mechanism at work that you can't see while you're inside it. The habit isn't just a behavior you repeat. It's performing a function. It's doing something for you that you haven't named yet. Something that feels necessary, even though consciously you'd say you want it gone. Think about the last time you engaged in the habit. Not the reasons you gave yourself afterward, but what was happening right before. What were you avoiding? What feeling were you trying not to feel? What situation were you stepping away from, even if just for a moment? The habit creates a kind of predictability. It gives you something to do when you don't know what to do with yourself. It fills space. It smooths over the rough edges of discomfort or uncertainty or boredom or anxiety, and it does this so efficiently, so automatically, that you stop noticing it's happening. You just feel the urge, and then you're doing it, and then it's done, and there's this brief window of not quite relief, but something like it, a sense that you've returned to baseline, that you're back in familiar territory. This is the part most people never see. And once you see it, You can't unsee it, but there's still something missing. Because if the habit is serving a function, then removing the habit doesn't just leave a clean, empty space where better behavior can grow. It leaves a gap, and that gap has to be filled with something. Usually something uncomfortable. Usually something you've been quietly avoiding for longer than you realize. Here's the truth you've been circling around. Change doesn't fail because you're not trying hard enough. It fails because, on some level, staying the same feels safer than dealing with what comes after. Not safer in the way you'd admit to someone else. Not safer in a way that makes logical sense, but safer in the way that matters to the part of you that decides these things before you're even aware a decision is being made. Think about what would actually happen if the habit disappeared tomorrow. Not the fantasy version where you simply become disciplined and productive and everything falls into place. The real version. What would you be left with? Probably more time, more awareness, more silence, more direct contact with whatever feeling or situation the habit has been helping you manage. And that feeling, that situation, that version of yourself without the familiar pattern to fall back on. That's what the resistance is really about. You don't fear failure. You fear the instability that comes with change. You fear the version of your life where you have to sit with discomfort instead of numbing it, where you have to face uncertainty instead of retreating into something predictable, where you have to be present for parts of your experience you've learned to step away from. And the habit has been your way of stepping away, quietly, efficiently, without having to confront what you're stepping away from. This is why promising yourself you'll change doesn't work, because the promise is being made by the part of you that wants to be different, but the decision is being controlled by the part of you that needs things to stay exactly as they are. And that second part doesn't operate through logic or willpower or shame. It operates through fear you haven't named yet, fear of what it would feel like to exist without the buffer the habit provides. There's no satisfying ending to this, no technique that makes it suddenly simple, no realization that fixes everything. But there is a shift that happens when you stop treating the habit as the enemy and start seeing it as information. When you stop asking, "Why can't I change this?" and start asking, "What is this protecting me from?" The habit isn't a failure of character, it's an adaptation. A way your system learned to manage something it couldn't handle directly. And until you understand what that something is, you're not fighting a habit. You're fighting a survival mechanism that doesn't care how badly you want to be different. Nothing changes until you see this clearly. But seeing it clearly doesn't mean everything magically shifts into place. It just means you're finally looking at the right thing. This isn't about habits. It's about what you've been protecting yourself from all along. And now you know.